Welcome back in today's Spotlight. The University of Florida eliminating all diversity, equity, and inclusion positions over new state rules. The college getting rid of more than a dozen full-time jobs, including its chief diversity officer, and canceling all DEI-funded contracts with vendors. The university now led by former Republican Senator Ben Sasse after the state legislature passed a law last year banning funding for DEI programs. Now, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis celebrating this move. He posted on social media, you see right there, quote, DEI is toxic and has no place in our public universities. 8 other states, including Florida, have passed legislation aimed at dismantling diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. So I want to bring back our panel here, Mike, John, Christina, and LZ. And John, let's jump right into it here. Look, there were concerns from some outspoken parents that worried that DEI initiatives overstep and that they break trust with parents. And the critics of the program said it essentially pushes left-wing ideologies, with worries that some students might be left out to then boost representation of other groups. So, John, what is your take on that?
Well, my take is that this is too much too fast. If there are concerns with DEI programs in universities and schools, address those concerns, but don't eliminate them, because think about what's at the core of what DEI is. DEI is just trying to make sure that everyone is included and everyone is being treated fairly. If they think someone's being treated unfairly, then you can address that. But let's not forget, a lot of people are being treated unfairly based on sexual orientation or the race for decades in this country, and they're trying to fix that. So let's get it right instead of just eliminating a program altogether.
And LZ, look, this state ban that cuts funds for DEI programs also does the same for any political or social activism in the public college system. Is this leading down a road that could inspire fear in academics?
Oh, well, there's always been fear in academics, even more so now today. I know certainly, on campus, as where I'm teaching, we've been talking a lot about the attacks that's been happening against diversity, equity, and inclusion, because it's based on a false premise that we're now a colorblind society, which we know we are not. There's no socioeconomic data point that you can point to suggest that we're a colorblind society, but that's the premise in which this elimination of DEI is based upon. And so that's been a concern in terms of just representation in terms of student bodies, but also professors and administrators. And so, yes, there's a lot of fear out there right now, Kana.
And Christina, to you, Democrats are saying that this effort is out of touch, an attempt to tackle something that isn't a problem. But Christina, Florida argues that using public funds for these kinds of programs is an issue, and that this is a political issue. Do you see this, I guess, more as a political issue or a policy issue here when you break it down?
This is a political issue for Republicans to be able to win and hold office at the expense of our children's ability to learn. Look, what these legislators refuse to acknowledge is, first, that we are one of the most diverse nations on the planet, and that our diversity is our strength. The second thing they refuse to acknowledge is the reason why these departments were created in the first place: to give students the tools to address long-term inequalities, which makes our country and our universities better and stronger. Lastly, they act like teaching students being able to learn the stories of Black Americans, Latino Americans. They say, we don't want to learn their history. That's not their history. That's our history as a country. And so when we deny and rob students the ability to learn about their own history, we deny them the ability to learn about our entire history as a country. And that's just a huge, huge step backwards.
Well, Mike, considerations like this are not just happening, though, in Florida. The Washington Post recently noted that Zoom got rid of its DEI team in a broader layoff there. Major corporations like Meta, Lyft, DoorDash, X, they've cut their DEI teams by some 50% or even more. What do you think that signals?
Yeah, we're seeing a trend right now, not just in academic, but in corporate America. It's because of this long-standing notion that we start thinking about like diversity and inclusion, it means unqualified. And that's just the biggest misnomer and myth that is out there. But because of the polarization of society, that narrative has been allowed to stand. In relationship to the colleges, and particularly thinking of the University of Florida, what people are not recognizing is that the amount of administrators whose positions were terminated. The part that troubles me is that we become more of a polarized society, and John alluded to this about sexual orientation and race, but also too, religion discourse is really igniting on colleges' campuses. We need these trained professionals on campus to help moderate such sensitive and polarizing discourse who are adequately trained in their field. When you break your leg or you get a sprained ankle, you go to the doctor who can then provide healing and treatment plans. This is when you have the most polarized society that we have. You need trained professionals professionals that can help us moderate and really prepare the next future of thought leaders, corporate leaders. College universities are the training ground for that. So why wouldn't you want them to have trained professionals to help lead the next corporation and thought leaders of tomorrow?
All right, Mike, John, Christina, and LZR, thanks as always to you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.